offers to the people. It's everywhere. Make sure you're trying to connect a guest. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. There also might be a delay. Testing, testing. Okay, so there's like a 3-second delay, it sounds like. You should hear my voice pretty soon. How are the levels? Can you hear me, like my voice over the music?
When you said testing.
GG. We just put her up there.
Test, test, test.
Up here, Gigi.
It's like a long delay.
It's because we're going to restream and then to the both services.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, like 3 full seconds? 5?
Yeah, a little more than 3, I'd say. Oh. No, almost.
No. She probably won't stay up there, but we'll have it there. I think it's 3 separate words though. That's pretty quick.
The delay is much shorter on Twitch.
Interesting. Testing. Should I reduce the bit? Well, actually, it's still an image.
Yeah, wow.
Well, that was like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
But to be fair,
it's like 1 second,
Um,
2 seconds.
it's like that when you just go live too on YouTube.
You think you have more viewers on YouTube or?
So we haven't used our Twitch in a long time, but we have like 500 subscribers on there, so I assume that they've gotten a notification.
Yeah.
I changed like the schedule last week to say that we're streaming today, but we'll see. It has been active in like over maybe 2 years.
For sure.
I think that every time. Oh, is that mine?
Okay.
I just got up, so probably. No, you probably got up to go right that way. Okay. I'm gonna take my towel off.
I feel like everybody I know who's involved in design at all has that. This one? Yeah.
This is like architectural stuff as well as posters. It's really outdated now. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but there's some principles here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I graduated like 10 years ago, but I didn't even study. I studied like psych, so I don't really have any.
I mean, I didn't learn that much in my. It was very
Yeah.
much like conceptual shit.
Yeah. I think like it's more just like an ideas place.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think it's great to.
Yeah. At the time, I didn't like that, but I was like,
Yeah.
I guess you could pick up the technicals anywhere.
Yeah.
It's about like learning how to think about it.
Yeah. When you're, I don't know, when you're young too, you feel like it's like, I need the instruction.
Yeah, I'm sure just like I'm just trying to get a job, dude.
Exactly, yeah. Which is like kind of true.
Yeah. I feel like they could have done the mix better.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Especially, I don't know, I went to UC.
Yeah, me too. I went to UCLA.
Okay, yeah, so it's like, that was all just like,
Yeah, yeah. Same. No, but I keep hearing about it. This stream is sponsored by Vidal. I mean, you can just say like, yeah, I'm not gonna this stream. You take that streamer box down. Move all the shit. I just wasn't for the books. I haven't set up a view that's like this in high res.
Oh.
So we might not do it this time. We'll see.
Yeah, I wanted to get a camera.
That's
that
like-
would be good.
yeah.
Like
Because it'd be difficult with this anyway.
yeah. It's a good camera.
Seems good. I'm only using it like 320 though, because it's like this big.
Oh, okay.
guess it's just like the ambient. Unless, I mean, you would hear it like an echo, I think, if it was capturing both. This is lo-fi, might be hard to tell.
No, I definitely hear the music. It's just my house is really
Rustling?
rustling.
Over to Twitch, so
It might be just you.
yeah, I'll just turn it down. Testing 1, 2, 3. Shouldn't be doing it. I should just talk normally while we're talking. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
As long as it's not getting.
Yeah, I shouldn't be picking up any music. Did you hear this though?
A little bit. It's mostly like, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I'll just. Hi everyone. I'm just gonna start warming up a little bit. We've got Moro Chucho here helping on the chat. He's gonna read questions. This month, I kind of want to do something for the clinic. There's this really crazy picture that we have of Sean from the clinic out in one of his mobile distros. Not distros, but clinics. I don't necessarily know that this is going to be a good print, but I want to do something with it. This is kind of right by All Power. It's the underpass of the 10 freeway. There's a couple encampments down there. You can see some of the other nurses providing care. They bring a wagon out full of goods and medicine. Yeah, Sean didn't know I was going to do this. Sort of like the easiest cheat I do on a lot of my prints is what's called threshold. What threshold does is it makes things it takes every pixel and decides if it's going to be black or white. And you can kind of adjust where it decides. And this is great for screen printing because everything's just one color. This is also it kind of just makes it look like a hardcore shirt, and Sean loves hardcore, so let's do something like that. So I'm adjusting the black and white before I go in so that I have more control over the levels. Adding noise helps with detail on low res images. Yeah, so this looks pretty like grayscale, but if you zoom in, everything's just black or white. Let's see. And then kind of for like inspiration stuff, I literally will just Google like Soviet medicine poster. I love old shit like this. Like they went so hard on just kind of like, eat your vegetables. This is about not contaminating your vegetables with meat juice. They had a lot of anti-drinking posters. I assume drinking was a huge problem. There's sort of all the stereotypes about Russian culture and vodka. God, they just go so hard. Here's a drunk bird. Let's see. I wanted to find a specific one I was thinking of. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, a lot of times I'll look at something and I'm like, this is really cool. I don't know that someone would want it in their like space necessarily as like a decor. It's just so like PSA like. We might start there. Is it Kazakhstan that I saw? Just Putin. Another place I go for inspiration a lot is archive.org. You just type in like literally anything that has ever existed. Here you put Black Panther newspaper, and you can read full issues from, in this case, 1969. This is right during the Soviet-Sino split. You can see where the Black Panthers landed on that. Anyway, back to this health poster. This is cute. What is this? Like a guy who is a syringe? See if we can cut him out actually. Here comes Gigi. How did she get up here? Everyone say hi to Gigi. Here. Let's see, I'm gonna try to cut him out because there's a lot going on here. Photoshop's automatic selector has gotten really good. I'm gonna apply the same effect as before. Probably needs to be a little brighter. It's too white. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. I don't know that this is going to work as a print, but I do want to do like some kind of post with it. I know that they do a lot of they do like 6 clinics all across the city. I might just do some social media posts for them. It's cool. Grab some location icons. Or actually, maybe we'll put their logo. This is my first time using Brave, actually. I'm using it because it's less resource intensive and we're running a lot of stuff. But the search kind of sucks. I'm gonna literally go to Google. When's the last time you typed google.com in? Stealing from stock.com. Just making this all white. Let's see. They do them in palms. Let's get rid of you for a second. Is Sav in here? She remembers where. Here's Culver. They do one in Palms. They do one in Chinatown. They do one near us. Yeah, this is such a superhero pose. Sav, do you remember where they do them? There's 3 more. I think Little Tokyo and Chinatown both. Oh, and then Etna they do, which is in the valley. They do it so many places you can't even fit it on a standard map of LA. I actually have to get a better, bigger map. Yeah, half of design is just finding the right image. This isn't bad. It's just this display sucks. Oh, they do one in. Do they do one in South Bay? They might. Let's see. Take this down. I think sort of like all design kind of boils down to this picture. It's ultimately just about directing the viewer's eyes, kind of like deciding which information is most important. So for here, the map is important, but it's not super important. So we're taking down the color, kind of fading into the background. Okay, so they're in Palms. There's one near us. I believe there's one in South Bay. There's one in Van Nuys. Make this bigger. Chinatown, Tokyo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. We might come back and grab Sean without the effects. It's looking pretty grainy, so I'm going to add some noise, which is the magic solution to basically anything. Move it over here so it's not competing with him. We might even make some boxes to explain which and where they are. Wow, there's so many. They're so close together on this map.
Jed's Pod is asking if anybody knows of any open source editors.
Yes, there's Photopea, which is an in-browser Photoshop. I think it does basically everything that Photoshop can do. And you can actually even like paste from here into, I think. Allow, yeah. So it's totally cross-compatible. You do have to make an account, I think, but you can always use a fake email or whatever. Yeah, I could do it in here, I guess. As for like vector stuff, I don't know that there's a good competitor to Illustrator, but this does basically everything that Photoshop does. I think the font management is a little weirder because you can't just like install stuff, but there's a lot. We'll put that up at the end, like with some links and notes. And they work with a lot of other mutual aid groups as well. I think all of these actually are connected to another org's kind of distro day. So back to the idea of hierarchy. Here I'm gonna list what org they're with, but since that's not quite as, I don't want it competing. If there's text about the same size, it's kind of like which one do you read first? So I'm gonna make it read a little bit easier by taking this text down. I think it's with JTAN action, right? CCED. What's this? Palms, unhoused, mutual aid. South Bay, I don't know who they do it with. It might be their own. Let's see. Now we're running into a problem where it's like a little crowded. It's hard to tell where we're actually pointing. So we have to move stuff around a little bit. Maybe make this stuff smaller. Try to imagine what it's gonna look like on a phone. Definitely take this in. Better. We can take some liberties with the locations as well, just for clarity. I'm just grouping this stuff so it's easier. I'll probably rotate this around. Make sure all these arrows are about the same size. So I took down the color in the background so that it would not be distracting us to the rest of the stuff, but now it's looking a little dry. Let's zhuzh it up a little bit. Just gonna start going crazy with some gradients here on a color layer. Multiply means if it is darker than the layer below, it'll pass through. If it's lighter, it will not. So if I brush white over here, nothing happens, but if I brush black, something does. So it's great when you're coloring and you want to keep outlines. So let's take some red from his shirt, soften this brush up so that we can, well, this is really interesting about color theory. Like this just looks red, but when it's by itself, it looks so purple. Ooh, scary. I'm kind of trying to do like a color collective thing here. He's so good. Maybe some pink. These are looking a little bit like, I don't know, techie when the corners are sharp. I'm just gonna take the corners off. I'm hitting A for direct select. And you can just kind of, you can even make it a bubble. But I'm sort of round the corners off so it looks a little nicer. Let's see, let's bring this guy out so it's not running off. Gigi is investigating. She's probably gonna knock the camera over. Where's the, yeah, give her a little. Very unfortunate line breaks here. There's no way to get it even really. Guess I can make it more boxy.
Questions on color theory.
Oh yeah.
Have some recommendations or books or YouTube channels?
I wonder if, let's see if we can make real quick a view for this camera without. Actually. Duplicate. Camera. I'm gonna add this video capture device back in. Do that full. Cool. Does everybody see me? I mean, it's probably 5 seconds behind, but I'll get. Where's that little Japanese color theory book? Oh yeah. Almost everyone I know who's in design has. I have to do that thing. Has this like little Japanese color theory book. It's not even color theory, it's a dictionary of color combinations. But it literally just has, every page is color combinations, but they're really nice. But yeah, I feel like one of the principles you'll notice is that they tend to kind of have the same like saturation. Like there won't be one that's like super neon. They'll all be kind of the same pastel-y or the same darkness. Let's see, so this guy's looking a little too grainy now. I converted him to a smart object at the very beginning, which allows you to adjust these kind of effects without affecting the actual original. What we may do is turn it off. It's time to do the ultimate trick, just find a texture. So we'll do, let's try like a VHS texture. And almost any kind of word imaginable you can type in plus texture, like paper texture is a great way to add depth and stuff. I like the digital ones a lot. And the great thing about it is that since it's supposed to be kind of glitchy, if you take it at low res, it's fine. So I'm gonna put this on top. Blending mode here is gonna be screen, which means it only comes through if it's lighter than the layer below it. It's the opposite of multiply. So you can see like all the black has disappeared, only the white shows up. I'm gonna increase the contrast. Maybe add some more noise on this. So now since this is all looking glitchy, this is all looking very sharp, all these boxes. So what we can do is add a glow to them. Where am I going? Clear style. And this is like supposed to be for like if you want to make something look like it's illuminated. But if you crank up the noise, it starts to look like it's screen printed or something. See if I can zoom in on that. Give us like the little grainy outline. We just gotta kind of walk it into where it doesn't look quite so separate from the actual shape itself. Might even do the same to all the text. Way too much. Yeah, this is what I do to almost all the texts and all the prints, and for the all power, it kind of gives it that like non-digital look, which is funny that we'd spend so much time chasing. Let's see, it's still looking a little like out of place. Is she making biscuits on you? Oh, I missed K-Town, I think. What's this? So you can put something over and go create clipping mask, and it'll just lock it to whatever's below it. A little too much. I'm gonna bring the brightness up so it looks closer to white. Here. Really crank that noise up. Now I've added all this grunge to everything, and it's starting to feel like the kind of pink, bright background speaking a different language. So I might come back and adjust that. Just gonna duplicate the text effect here. Apply it to all the locations. If we take his saturation down, he'll look more in place. I feel like the blue hat is kind of distracting. Yeah, so with the color here, maybe if we just take the colors from the shirt, it'll look less chaotic. We'll change this to color maybe. I spent a lot of time just doing this, deciding which effect to use. Let's take some blue from his hat. That's not gonna work. Go back to multiply. Now we're kind of getting somewhere. I do feel like it's getting hard to see the map underneath. I'm going to make it darker, or at least try to make the lines darker. sure we need this layer. It's a little bit too much. I'm going to take it down, maybe just leave some of those lines. And I'm darkening this, and since it's on screen, anything darker than the layer below is not going to show up. This I feel like can be quite a bit bolder. Let's try putting a stroke on it, since this is already bold. This is a way to cheat if you want your text to be heavier than the bold already is. We're gonna have to bring up that glow effect again. And there's way better ways to do this, like kind of overprint effect. But I find that they're better, but they take like 4 times as long, and the result is not 4 times as good. Actually, let's bring this underneath that other texture layer. I like that, but I think it's too much. We're gonna tone it down a little bit by doing like a half opacity eraser. That'll take away some of the texture, but leave some too. I haven't saved this entire time, don't do that. I'm happy with that for now. We may come back to it a little bit after we've kind of worked on something else a little bit. One request we get a lot is for merch that's not so that you can wear to school or work. A lot of our merch is rather aggressive, you could say. This, even though it's pretty harmless, it's like death metal aesthetic. If you're like a preschool teacher, you can't wear that. This literally has a POW on it. So yeah, we'll try to do something more in the lines of this. Let's leave. I'll switch over to my iPad. Yeah. Well, I'm about to switch my iPad, so it's about to get real slow. Because I am not historically an illustrator. I only got this iPad like this year. We'll just start with a Gigi, that's easy. This is Procreate. Do yellow. Redbait, who's in the chat, actually convinced me to start doing Procreate. Shoots a weirding way on Instagram. There's actually a lot of really good other designers in the chat right now. Drop your guys' handles. Let's see, let me get some reference. She's so rambunctious right now. See, what are we? What's harmless? A harmless little communist message. Have her high five somebody. Holding hands, that'll be cute. Gotta get her. Gotta get her little bandana. Back to his eyes, they're a little scary. Let's see if we can turn her head a little bit. Maybe a little wide. I feel like when it's cutesy like this, I always just want to add something like crazy. And like, if you're looking closely, you'll find it, but at a glance, you can wear this cool. Replace it with a basket of flowers or something. I wish we have her hold hands with like a dog. Let's make it on a new layer in case I fuck it up. Give him a book. That's nice and inoffensive. Let's make this. I wonder if this would pass, just having the book be something really on the nose. I've already done it together, print. I love Procreate. Being able to just move stuff around like that.
It's a great idea. We got Meow's little red book.
Oh, nice. Alright, we'll sit on that for a little bit. She's still just chilling. Let's try, I've been wanting to do, what's her name? Lyudmila Pavlichenko. This will be very specific and not family-friendly print, but it had to be done sooner or later. For anyone who doesn't know, she has that famous quote about, "You really killed 400 men?" And she said, "Not men, fascists." This is not her, is it? Does not look like the same woman. Yeah, it's definitely like the movie remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, these all look like different women. That's so funny. I'm pretty sure this one's her though. So we can take her out of her background. I tend to like copy it out and then I'll keep the original layer just in case. What do we do for a slogan here? Just need a text placeholder. Background. Let's do a reticle. I wonder which one would be historically accurate. She used Business Insider. What are they writing about her? Of course. It's in Russian. This looks like a Mosin, I'm pretty sure it is. Very simple. Ah, there we go. All Express, wait. Hell yeah, dude. With the hammer and sickle. Damn, I wonder, that's so crazy.
It's 63% off.
It's Black Friday, baby. Wow, I didn't know you could get gun stuff on AliExpress. Anyway, they do have a historically accurate reticle, apparently. Let's just Control I to invert. Bring it up to make it white. Might be too on the nose to have a Soviet flag in the background, but we put some leading fabric. Just seeing the chat about the leftist unity. I was thinking that too. But is Gigi an anarchist? I think so. Look at her. Just showing you guys her ass. Let's see. What is her kill record? $309. Let's see if we can do tally marks. Good thing for copy and paste. Just making it white. I don't always work black and white color, but for some reason today I am. Let's see, we've got, let's just start with 15 to, or no, this will be 30, so we just need 10 of these. Oh, true. I'll just go back. 3. This is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 9, 10. And then we do need that 9. Throw these all in a group. Maybe we'll just have one row all the way down. Let's go get that 9. that was Command Control Shift 4, which allows you to just copy a section of your desktop. For the Mac users, I do not think that PC has a equivalent function, unfortunately. You just have to print screen and copy the whole thing.
Yeah, we have a beautiful screen capture function.
But it takes the whole screen, right?
You can do a
Oh, okay.
snippet of it.
Let's get that behind her. Oh, she's in this group, that's why. Ludmilla, where are you? I'm trying to include this without putting it like behind her head because it doesn't look like we're sniping her. Now it's not clear what it is, which might be okay actually. Let's see what her full quote was. Oh, is there a graphic novel about her? There is indeed a graphic novel about her. Let's check it out real quick. Rejected Princess. Princesses.com. What is this? I mean, it's good that they have like kind of like all kinds of material about this stuff. It's the tone to like style is pretty jarring.
It's like every webtoon I've read.
Yeah. This goes pretty hard. Damn, they should make an anime about her life. Wow, her husband was her spotter? That's pretty cute. There's no way they knew all this stuff. Anyway, we're like totally got sidetracked. Not men. Here's the movie about her. Oh man, is that quote from the movie and not from her real life? That would suck. Kind of seems like it was from the movie. Ah, yes, Google. Damn, it does look like it's from the movie. I can't find any like citation, not like kind of you do her quotes. There's usually, here we go. Control F309. Her kills may be significantly more numerous. She did say 300 fascists, but it does look like the not men fascist quote is from the movie. challenged and especially sections reported to a fist fight. So hard. Well, in the absence of that, we'll have to think of some other quote. I'm just gonna put something up for now. While we think of text, I can just start doing color stuff. Pretty similar to what I did last time. New layer on multiply. Flooding with red. This is pretty pixelated, so let's try putting some noise on. And then with print stuff, kind of like, even though up close this looks kind of like wacky, when you're looking at it from a distance, your eyes will kind of blend everything. She's also looking a little blurry. We'll hit her with a little noise. Actually, we'll do this smart object first, then some noise. Then we'll adjust the levels, which is basically just brightness. Kind of like this will adjust the output of the midtones. This will, you can make this, the whole picture much darker or much brighter this way. It's a much more precise adjustment than like brightness contrast. I feel like she could be a little brighter still. Collapse that whole group into one smart object so I can remove all the backgrounds more easily. So I'm selecting all the black. I did it by magic wand, unchecking contiguous, so I select all the black everywhere. Just do a clipping mask. So that's done the reverse of what I want, but over here on the clipping mask I can invert it. Command I. Now I want to blur it, so if I blur it, these outlines are going to stay. But what I can do is make it a smart object again, so now it's reading as just these objects. Just to make it a little less sharp since everything around it is kind of grainy. Maybe we make this yellow. Take all the black again because it's technically still there. Let's see. In the past I've used sort of like an exploded, it's disassembled. Perfect. Oh, it's a very high res as well. Kind of don't want those numbers though. just see how it looks. Just delete the backgrounds. Maybe take away any color so it's not messing with the red in a weird way. It's actually underneath the red, which is why it looks weird. We'll set this to screen. Kind of has like an X-ray effect. We'll do something a little more understated with the text this time. See if we get a little more old-timey with it. This all looking a little too clean. I could do a little displace action. Filter, distort, displace. I have a bunch of kind of just displace PSDs in here. Maybe I can bring it up actually. So what displace does is it takes a kind of like a white-black value, and anything that overlays with black gets moved one direction, anything that overlays with white moves another direction. So that's how I do kind of like a lot of the text, like the distorted text on the old all-power prints. Let's do some example text here. Displace. Go to those waves that I just showed you. So yeah, so basically everywhere that it's picked up a black-white edge, it moves stuff around. And that's how I did like the old this stuff. For the actual PSD, like burnt wood makes a really good displacement map. I think I would want to pick pixels. I'm sure everyone knows this like just random free stock photo site. But basically anything that has a lot of crags and cracks is a good option. Let's see. Stuff that's too uniform usually doesn't work well because you can kind of like see the pattern underneath. Circular also can be kind of weird. Let's try this one. And since it's, you know, relying on a black-white edge, you kind of want to make it more contrasty so that you can kind of anticipate where things are going to go. For example, if there's text over this kind of black slash, it's going to make a big gouge in the text, which might be what you want.
I've got a question about licensing issues with images.
So much has to go wrong for you to get in trouble for that. Like no one's ever gonna, so first of all, this is a free stock site, but I would be so surprised if this photographer came in and was like, oh, I see that you use the wood grain from my photo to distort this text. I'm not even sure there would be a copyright claim in that case.
More so for like, what about the picture of the sniper?
So this picture, I kind of assume since it's so old, it's going to be kosher. But if you're trying to find kind of license or pictures that you're sure you can use, Wikimedia Commons is a really great resource. There may even be a picture of her in here, but everything in Wikimedia Commons is licensed under Creative Commons, meaning anyone can use it without permission for any purpose. There may even be a picture of her in here. Yeah. I don't know. Someone who happens to share the same name, perhaps. She's on a stamp, but so all of these, let's see if we open one, it'll show you the license. Public domain, so Wikimedia Commons is a really good place for that. I think archive.org probably also is. If it's not, then it'll tell you what the license is. We can sort by image here, maybe? No. This is a movie? Pretty cool.
Also, once you use an image like off Google Images, once you change it enough and make it your own.
So the question was, if you change enough, make your own. The famous case is the Obama Hope poster. So this is based on a photographer's image. I keep forgetting I'm Brave. Yeah, so some photographer took this photo and then Shepard Fairey used it to make this. I don't know how that case ended up. Okay, so he destroyed evidence, but would he have gotten away with it had he not done that? Visual reference. Yeah, but so this, the kind of like, I think the legal definition is 51% changed, which is impossible to, quantify. But, it has to get as big as this to be a concern. I don't think that any of the heirs of Lyudmila Pavlichenko are going to have an issue with this. But you never know. It's a good question. So let's change this. So displacement maps have to be Photoshop documents as far as I know. Save that as circular wood. Take off this displace. This scale just goes to like how much does it move it around. Do you have to be against the feds to get a complaint? No, you have to just be really successful. If you sold a lot of them and someone noticed that you used something, they would have an issue with it. They have to sue you though, basically, right? Like, and I believe it's civil, not criminal. And usually you'll just get a cease and desist first. So that didn't do a whole lot. Let's go back because this is a pretty big, it's 12 by 18 inches, 300 pixels per inch. So let's bump up the scale and see if it's recognizable. So it looks like we're kind of just like in this section of it. Yeah, wood is generally a good option for for these displacement kind of glitch effects. And then on top of that, you can go to transform, edit, transform, warp, and it'll disable the displacement map for now, but you can change the shape pretty freely. So yeah, this is kind of verbatim what I would do for those text effects on the old prints. This text, I feel like this style has kind of fallen out of favor, I feel like. The really glitchy warps text, but it still can look cool. In this case, I don't think it really fits with like this historical vibe we're going for, so I'm gonna hide it. I'll try to push this kind of typewriter vibe. I'm gonna merge it with a layer beneath it. Because if I just put noise on this, you're still gonna see the edge of it. But what I want to do is kind of make it fuzzy on the outside. So I'll do that by giving it a background so that it has something to blend with. Make these a smart object so that I can come back and edit it, as opposed to just merging it, which makes it kind of whatever you do is basically permanent. Like for example, I notice now the dot of the I is crashing to the G, so I can come in here. This is also a smart object. It's not really necessary. Just delete this. Increase the leading there. How sharp I can make it. After this whole layer, I'm gonna blur it first. Then by adding noise, you can kind of give like the impression of it'll make that edge like kind of grainy. And then to bring that red back in, we're going to change this to screen so that only the white shows up. Adjust this so that there's just less and less white all over the place. So the stuff you're seeing the white lighten up because there's just noise all over here, and it's kind of like white points all around. By bringing those down, we can let the white, the red show through a lot better. And the preview is a lot lower resolution than the final product, which is why sometimes, like right now, it looks like there's nothing. And then you come in, and it's quite a bit lighter. So you might just have to come in and keep adjusting it. This also is looking very clean. So overall volume a bit low. I can turn the mic up.
Yeah, it's just we're hearing
I see.
stuff
That
slot.
so
Like the
yeah.
Next time we'll use that mic.
Yeah.
Let's try doing a displacement map on this. I think it's gonna be too much, but we'll try. It's not bad actually. Let's see, that little diagram of the MOSIN, I don't know how much it's doing for us anymore. Maybe it could be a bit smaller. Let's see. And what else comes up for her images? Wow, Obama jump scare. There is a picture of her in a tree, I believe. Hopefully it's a real photo and not. There we go. This looks like from the movie or something, but it does look like her. I can't get over this webcomic. Classic image. The Red Army conquering Berlin. I'm kind of just putting stuff around because there's kind of this complex photo here and then nothing over here, and I'm just trying to balance it out. Adjust these levels a bit so that more of it looks a little less. There we go. Come back to that. This guy looking a little sharp. I think that's about as far as we're getting on this one now. We can come back to this this iPad drawing. Yeah, the motor is, the street sounds are always really crazy here. How do we make this dog look more Marxist? Oh, I know. We'll give him one of those little hats. Oops. Just gonna get this out so I don't mess up the text while I'm editing the dog. suggestion for. I don't actually know what that is. Okay, now this is I'm doing the thing I always do, which is I started out trying to make something cutesy, and now it's just militant again. But maybe we can get let's get rid of capital on there. Let's see if we can stealth this somehow. So definitely gotta get rid of the Molotov. Maybe some roses or something. Yeah, I'd have to take this into Illustrator to actually do this, but as a concept, it's maybe. Maybe we can set up soup for the
Yeah, like thinking school lunch or something.
yeah. Damn, soup for my family, that's a throwback. Let's put this on a different layer so I don't have to keep.
Sharing some bread.
Yeah, bread and roses.
Put that in the chat.
This is not snappy, but I feel like this is kind of going in a direction of like it takes all kinds, or like every person's type of work is needed. Just full GG asshole view. the club wheel, fam.
It's me dropping spaghetti out of this basket. Spaghetti flavor.
Yeah, so now we're at the point with kind of all these designs where I would just be staring at it and making small adjustments and trying different things, which probably isn't very fun to watch. But we could just flip through books for the last 20 minutes. Looks like GG for an entrepreneur. Let's see if we can set up the camera so that we can see books very well. It bends exactly the wrong way. I think this would pivot down. There we go. It's gonna be really close though. Oh, nice. Yeah, try that. Well, actually, no, here, we'll put it here and I'll open the book on the bench.
That's all right, GG.
Let's test that. Oh my god. GG's all over the monitor.
GG. Help us flip through books.
It's a little far. Probably find a way to do this. So this book's about Russian constructivism, which is sort of that classic Soviet style that people, when you think of Soviet art. In the early days, it was really connected to sort of like the new form of, not quite abstract expressionism, which was an American movement, but moving away from figurative drawing in the early days of abstract art. Yeah. Over time, they just kind of dialed in this like industrial, architectural theme. GG's being an absolute menace. Take a couple pages at a time now. This is when they started using photo collage. I would argue that like this is the kind of like beginning of modern graphic design, kind of combining photo elements and painting. It's more of that architectural style. Kind of industrial explosion was happening at the time in the new USSR, and that was reflected in the art. This is a poster for Battleship Potemkin, which is a pretty famous movie. The artist, that's not Rodchenko, but Rodchenko is sort of the artist that started this kind of angular, very grid-like style. And all these artists were not just like graphic designers, most of them were also industrial designers, architects, kind of interior designers. Uniform design. So they were very much like, you know, they believed the artist should be part of the industrial base as well. A bunch of films. Russian film at this time was really big. Lenin considered film kind of the most important propaganda tool. This one always freaked me out. I don't really know what they're trying to do here. This is some more architectural stuff. Also brought out Chinese propaganda one, which is a whole other kind of style. It's very much painterly, really epic stuff always. But it is sort of like in the style of socialist realism, which was about depicting kind of people, everyday people in a real way, being connected to the real world. The stuff that you saw in the last book, eventually the USSR became thought of as like ideologically incorrect because it was so graphical and so conceptual. And you know, you see in some Soviet paintings that are more along these lines, even that are more like depictions of people. I really love when they have like traditional kind of elements, like there's like the boy with the giant peach, not James the Giant Peach, but you know, symbol of good fortune. Yeah, a lot of kids do always. Really awesome. This book actually is on archive.org in its entirety. I can post the link.
It's free on Archive.
Yeah, on archive.org it's free. But it's from Taschen, so they have a sale I think every year. I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't very expensive. Basic information about, what did it say? From atomic, chemical, and biological weapons. Wow. Taschen is the name of that's the publisher. Taschen. Yeah, this one just says make good quality products and brighten up life, which is such a, I think one of the things I really kind of, even before I was a leftist and just into art, I think I would notice that like there was just a much bigger sense of hope and like optimism in communist propaganda. In like American propaganda of the same era, it's sort of just like, it's just so bland. Like, these people were just harvesting wheat, but it looks so, there's just such a, like, there's just something going on that's coming through really, really hard. Yeah, I think it's just sort of like you can feel the optimism and the will of like a people with newly found determination.
I have a question. Are they a publishing house? I believe.
Taschen, yeah.
This is the publishing house.
Yeah, Taschen is a publishing house. They do a lot of art collections. They have a bunch of jazz covers too. That I have one of those books. Yeah, to scale. Yeah. Oh, nice. I'm gonna find the link while you keep flipping through it.
Maybe making a call. More children iconography, eating rabbits. This would be good inspo
For a cutesy one?
child friendly.
Man, those babies are kind of creepy looking though. They do have sales like once a year. Why don't we post on Instagram? Strange. This one I got in Vietnam, so you probably could order it from the publisher, but I don't know what shipping would be like. One of the anecdotes that's in here that I found really crazy was that they talk about kind of being in the jungle and like having to make propaganda on the go, and grinding up medicines for dye. They found it so necessary to have kind of this art and material that they would sacrifice medicine. and you can kind of tell that like they were doing a similar style to the Chinese stuff, much more painterly, but that this was kind of a way less academically developed style of painting. Yeah, you can kind of see their strokes. And in some cases, it's just very simple depictions. And part of that too is like during the Sino-Soviet split, Vietnam fell more into the Russian sphere of influence. So that I'm sure that had some effect on the art styles that were preferred. It does. Yeah, lots of Nixons. Lots of just celebrating. Flip back one. These are all sort of about like how many planes they shot down. One kind of big misconception about the Vietnam War was that it was won by these like unsophisticated rice farmers like hiding in bushes, but military historians consider the North Vietnamese anti-air capabilities at the time to be maybe the best in the world. This one's interesting. Let's see if we can get the glare. The radio tower one. There's a pretty famous broadcaster nicknamed Hanoi Hannah who would broadcast messages into the jungle aimed at U.S. troops telling them to defect. She would say stuff like, you know, who was killed in action yesterday. She would list the accurate troop movements of the units she was trying to talk to kind of scare them. There's a lot of records of her online. It's really, really interesting stuff. Hanoi Hannah. I think we're getting to post-war kind of reconstruction type stuff, and you can see the commonalities with the Chinese and Soviet art. Really glorifying the everyday. This one I'm so interested in because it says bringing to play the skills of our traditional crack troops, but it doesn't explain why they're like naked except for capes. I haven't been able to find any sort of record about who this is referring to, like why they would be naked. But apparently there was a elite squad of naked warriors in Vietnam at the time. That's a pretty famous image of kind of the U.S. exploiting black soldiers specifically. At this time, kind of like Huey Newton and Bobby Seale are in prison. The North Vietnamese government offered to do a prisoner swap to release American POWs if the American government would release Huey Newton and Bobby Seale from prison. Obviously they didn't, but it goes to show like how connected struggles have been for so long. That's Diem, that's like the prime minister of South Vietnam. Any kind of depiction or thought of South Vietnam as a puppet government is like an understatement. It's really crazy just how deeply it was chosen and operated by the CIA. It's really hard to overstate. There were a lot of appeals to sort of American sensibilities as well, kind of like, you know, why are you here? There was a lot of messaging about solidarity with Americans as workers, telling them like, you shouldn't be here fighting for the rich men. Yeah, a lot of similarities with North and South Korea and Vietnam.
A comparison is South Korea to the Koreans.
Right before. This one's showing like a bunch of different ethnic groups. Vietnam's really ethnically diverse. There's like dozens of distinct ethnic groups, and the Communist Party made a really strong attempt to like integrate them and respect and preserve their customs. We're about 5 minutes left. I kind of wanted to show everyone the space if we haven't been here before. There's nothing out here right now because it's cleared out for an event, but we've got lots of stuff on the walls. These are all the prints that I've made that we sell here. Some more merch and stuff. Here's Gigi. Try to reconfigure here. That's about it. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being along the first stream. Couple kinks to work out. We'll get a mic next time. Maybe some different camera views. And then, you know, it's up on screen. Any donations support all the free programs we do here. We do grocery distribution every Saturday. We do poly-ed events all the time, try to really build a base for the left to keep growing stronger in the US. And then we talked about the free clinic, of course. Yeah, tell your friends. I'm gonna drop my Instagram handle. We'll definitely be doing more of these. Happy to do any last questions if there are any. It's like 5-second delay. All right, thanks everyone. Have a good night, be safe.